Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Electricity Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa is set to give an update today on the rolling blackouts as the country experiences stage 3 load shedding. South Africans are spending the weekend in the dark as load shedding made a return yesterday afternoon. Zola, Sholwana is tracking that story for us and joins us live now from Pretoria. First in Atteridgeville not so long ago, Zola, and of course the lighting questions there were really about not knowing when this was ultimately going to happen or not. What is the sense you're getting now?
Well, Arabile, we've been speaking to business operators around Tshwane, really just to really find out, the impact of load shedding, as we understand that there are businesses, many businesses, that rely on electricity to keep operations going. And a funeral parlor is one of them. We are at Ledwaba Funeral Parlor, and when there's load shedding, they start panicking because they know that it will come with costs, meaning they will have to have a generator that will run on diesel the entire day. And, that will obviously lead to costs. And some of these generators don't have the capacity to carry the fridges where they store bodies. They even, claim that sometimes, families will have to collect their bodies not in a good state. But let's speak to the operations manager. So thank you very much for your time. We understand the impact of load shedding on businesses, but maybe perhaps you can tell us from a mortuary point of view, how does it affect business here?
First and foremost, remember that the mortuary storage, the cold storage, is the heartbeat of the company. And you have to understand that our loved ones are being stored there and are being kept there for quite some time. So there are mortuaries that do not have backup generators, or they have backup generators but cannot carry the weight of the fridge because our fridges are huge. And that is why you get mortuaries whereby they deliver bodies that are more like changed in color or decomposed. But that's why you have to have a certain backup for that. Now, financially, it affects us when it comes to like the diesel consumption, because it uses more diesel than a motor vehicle. And then we've got whereby the electronical part, we're using systems to update. It also has to have backup because we are not allowed to lose record of the incoming and outgoing of our corpses.
Mm-hmm. And now that Atteridgeville will have load shedding at about 2 o'clock, how do you feel about that? Is the business prepared for that?
We are prepared for that. We've got a second generator, which is our backup generator. Should it be that the other one runs out of diesel, then the other one kicks in automatically. But it's also costly because we have people that has to service our generators on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some businesses have had to shut their doors. Some have had to retrench some of their staff members as they couldn't keep up, especially in 2023 when load shedding was quite bad. How were you impacted as a funeral parlor back then?
Remember, we had to reshuffle our staff. We had to go back to the drawing board and see how we can accommodate all staff members, more especially our main members, which is the management. Yes, we do keep each other equally, but remember that somehow, some way, it affects us as staff members, because some, they don't rely on electricity for work, like our cleaners and everything. But what about those that rely on it, like our admin staff, our operational, like our main operations? Yes.
The Minister will be speaking later on, Minister of Electricity, about the updates of Eskom, as we understand that the reason why we had load shedding was because 2 of their power stations units had failed. What are you anticipating to hear from the Minister? Because some people are crossing fingers at this point that the situation doesn't get worse because we are on level 3, stage 3.
As much as we have backup here, I believe they also have to have backup. I mean, we cannot make that an excuse. We'd rather sit with this problem, deal with it, and walk forward. I mean, if we can do the means, whereas they are supplying us, then why can't they do the means?
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Arabile, the unfortunate part is that some of these businesses find themselves running at a loss because if they cannot operate the way they usually do, which is on electricity, then they need to spend money, buying diesel, buying generators. And that really comes at a heavy cost, especially for small businesses that are not so established, such as others. But you heard the gentleman there saying that they have, everything on standby so that when they've got load shedding at 2 o'clock, the business, keeps on running because families have to come here and collect bodies of their loved ones. They still need to, be in operation, keep records of who's coming in and who's coming out. We are anticipating the briefing that is expected to start later on, Arabile, and that's where we will be heading. And of course, update our viewers on that one as well. Back to you in studio.